Hey internet, what's up? It's me, lo-fi musician and producer, Blue Sirens. Last week, I did a video about how comics and music work really well together, and I want to expand on that in a different way. So recently, I picked up this book, Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, two different books kind of put into one, but this book was made for the 40th anniversary for some of Joan Jett's albums, and each story is based on a song that they've released, and all the writers in it are women writers, and it's all to celebrate the 40th release of some of her albums. And I think that's a great idea, and I think that this is the new CD. Let me explain. So now we get all of our music digitally, we stream it, but one of the key aspects of getting a CD that I really liked was the pamphlet. Being able to open up the pamphlet, see unique photos of the band, read the lyrics, see the production credits, and hopefully get a little bit deeper understanding behind how some of these songs are created or the meaning behind them. And yeah, we kind of get all that now, but it's delivered to us through social media and interviews, and it's monetized through these news sites and through clicks and likes and all that stuff, and that's kind of just where we are as a society. So it's fine, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but if you wanted something that was more physical, something to say I'm a fan of this because I own it and I can look over it again and again and find something new or different and unique, then I think this is a great solution. And this is several songs, several stories. It took me a little bit to read it. Some of the stories are, 5-10 pages. Some of them are only like 4 or 6, but they're each about a different song that Joan Jett has released in the past. And for me, some of those songs I've listened to plenty of times, and I know them pretty much by heart. And when I read some of the stories that were inspired by those songs, it got me thinking and seeing these songs in a different light. And I think that's something that artists can really take advantage of these days. Now, if you're going to do a big book like this one, a little bit tougher. And I totally get that because this is a well-produced book. The art is great. It's 40 stories, and 40 stories written by 40 different people. So that takes money. And that's like a Taylor Swift kind of level. And honestly, if Taylor Swift did something like this, I think people that are in the comics or in the books would also feel inclined to at least check it out. Maybe not buy it if they're not a Taylor Swift fan, but this would definitely, put it at the top of a list for a lot of people that share a love for both music and visual arts, such as comics. So I think that's the thing that like bigger artists could definitely take advantage of, because you are seeing those songs in a different light and you're getting new visuals to understand those songs. So if bigger artists like Taylor Swift, Kendrick Lamar, Sabrina Carpenter, artists that are like big, they have a huge following that like can make a book like this and like put it out, I think there's a lot of people out there that buy it to understand those songs on a deeper level, but also be able to display it and say, look, I have that book, I'm a fan of their music, you can see it, you can read those stories with your friends and talk about them and get different perspectives on what that story is maybe saying about that song. And ultimately, as an artist, I think that's what people really want. You want people to do is you want people to talk about your music, you want them to talk about the art, and have to go back and listen and re-experience the art, the music, to get what you're trying to say. So I think it's a good idea for larger artists to do that, so that they can, shine a different type of light on their music, but also give something for fans that is physical for them to say, I'm a fan because I own this. And this is a lot of books, a lot of stories. And this is about, I think I got this for like $20. That's about how much like a deluxe CD was back in the day. So I don't think that's like an outrageous price for someone to pay for that. Now, if you're a smaller artist, I think this route of doing like a single comic book issue is a cool way to go. Metro Boomin is doing his own comic book line. I don't know if that's really tying into his music or not, but the fact that he's doing a comic line and I know him through his music, I'm more willing to check out those comics and see what they're about. If they're nothing to do with music, that's totally fine, but I do probably gain a little bit closer insight to his life and the things he's been through the comic books, and that in turn will probably make it easier for me to relate to his music or some of the things he expresses through his music. So if you're a major artist, this is a cool and unique way to connect with your fans. If you did a big book like this and had multiple stories about your songs and showing them in a different light, having that art go with it as well. And if you're a smaller artist, you could do something like this, where it's a comic book, and it could be something that maybe you do one now, maybe you do one later, and it becomes like a collectible thing. You don't have to think too far into the future if you don't know what you exactly want. You can just do one and see how it goes, and if it's well received, do multiple later on. But I think this is a cool and unique way to kind of replace the experience that we used to get from CDs, where we would open up the pamphlet, read all the credits, read all the lyrics inside, and try and get a deeper understanding of what the music means or what the music is trying to say to us. And I now have something I could take to one of those concerts and get it signed by them. And that just adds another layer of sentimental value to the books and to the music as well. So I think it's a great replacement for CDs, or what we used to get from CDs when it comes to physical media. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.